Authors, the new year is upon us, and I'm sure by now you have made your New Year's resolution towards your self publishing goals. Look, I don't know how 2022 treated you. I don't know how 2021 treated you, right? But if you struggled to reach your goals during those years and you're setting some of the same goals, I got three things. Yep, I said three. Didn't say four, didn't say five. I said three. If you do these three things, I guarantee you, DK stamp of approval. I guarantee that you'll not only achieve your self-publishing goals in 2023 if you do these three things, I guarantee that you will crush it. Now, if you want to know what these three things is, of course, you got to listen to the rest of the podcast. Let's go.
NL Publishing Service Academy proudly presents Listen Up, I Got a Story to Tell podcast with literary success consultant DK Walker. Sharing with you writing tips, marketing ideas, publishing information, and inspiring interviews for your author journey. So, without further ado, let's get right into it with DK Walker.
Hey, how's it going? I'm DK Walker, and this is Listen Up, I Got a Story to Tell podcast. Man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you are choosing to spend your time with your boy, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Look, before we get into today's episode, we got to pay bills off the bat. If you are a struggling author and you're having problems going from book idea to actually creating your book, I got the perfect thing for you. The absolute perfect thing for you. And what I get asked a lot is this thing for pantsers. That's for people that sit in the seat and they just freestyle they get an idea and they just sit down and start typing, to people that are planners. Now, planners outline their entire book. The Unfair Writing Advantage serves both types of authors. If you have your pantser and you want to just go off the top of your head, what happens is your creativity is all over the place. It has no direction, so therefore it takes you longer to get where you're going to when it comes to writing your book. If you're a planner, sometimes you overplan. You get bogged down in the minute details of your book. The Unfair Writing Advantage serves pantser and planner perfectly.
Hello, my name is Britt Kuhn, and I just love DK Walker's The Unfair Writing Advantage. I am now well on my way to writing my second book because of his advice, wisdom, tips and tricks like mind blown at how simple and easy it really, really is. I am forever grateful our paths crossed, DK. You will always be one of my favorite humans. Thank you.
Learn how to write faster, conquer writer's block, and tell a story your readers will love. In less than 1 month, writing only 3 pages daily, you can go from book idea to manuscript using the Unfair Writing Advantage. Most authors take 8 months on average to write just one book. But in a fraction of that time, you will learn how to craft a book your readers will love and not be hunched over your laptop days on end to do so. Just go to www.theunfairwritingadvantage.com to see what has the self-publishing industry buzzing. Now back to the podcast.
To all of my authors, writers, and scribes, I just want to say Happy New Year. Say it with your chest, say it with your chest, say it with your chest. Happy New Year. Yo, man, early in the podcast, I alluded to 3 things that you would need to crush all of your self-publishing goals in 2023. I guarantee it. I'm not misspeaking. I'm guaranteeing if you use these 3 things that I'm going to give you, there's always a little work involved. Not a lot of work, but a little work involved. But if you use these 3 things that I'm going to give you, I guarantee you, DK stamp of approval, I guarantee you that you will crush each and every self-publishing goal that you will have in the year of 2023. So without further ado, let's get into what those 3 things are. First, you're going to need a pen. Second, you're going to need a piece of paper. And the third thing you're going to need is brutal honesty. I want you to write down every goal that you didn't accomplish in 2022 concerning your self-publishing journey. Second thing I want you to do is write down the reasons why that you didn't accomplish your goals in 2022. Write down the reason why. The third thing is, as you write down the reason why you didn't accomplish your 2022 goals, I want you to be brutally honest. Don't write it whereas whatever excuse that you come up with is a valid excuse. And I've been accused of being a tad bit anal. To me, valid excuses is if somebody gets sick, somebody dies, or there's something just really stopping you from doing what you said you was going to do. And you're probably asking yourself, even thinking to yourself, like, what in the world does me failing to reach my 2022 year-end goals, or year goals, self-publishing goals, has anything to do with 2023, this new year? I'm feeling good. I'm catching this energy, this vibe, this wave of the new year. I'm riding high off of emotion. This guy wants me to reflect. He wants me to reflect, and not only reflect back, I'm going to look at something that's painful, right? Authors, you're going to look at painfully, look at why didn't you do what you said you was going to do in 2022? And I know it's painful, right? And the reason that is painful, if you're being brutally honest with yourself, the reason that is painful, because if you're being honest, the same thing that you had written down for 2022, you also wrote it down for 2021. Let's go a little bit deeper. I got my long knife out today, but I promise you, you're going to bleed a little bit. But what's going to come out of this pain is you're going to conquer every goal in 2023 just by these three things. I promise you. I didn't put my DK stamp of approval on it. I guarantee it. But if you keep going back, if you keep looking in the past calendar years, every year came around, you wrote some goals down, you got some accomplished, but let's be honest, for the most part, you didn't. For the most part, I don't care how far you go back. You can keep going back. So the thing you got to find out is why. And so the three things I'm asking you to do, pen, paper, brutal honesty, write it down, then tell yourself honestly why you didn't accomplish what you did, because the same goals that you keep bringing into the new year, you're also bringing the bad habits that's stopping you for accomplishing those goals. I'm not a deep person. I'm too short. Like, I'm 5'7", I'm fat, and I can't be deep. I can be wide. So if you want a deep podcast to give you something and you jumping through hoops, I'm results driven. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to take you around the world. We're going to get to the heart of the matter so we can get to the results quicker. And the problem with most authors when they make their New Year's resolution, when they make their promises to themselves, is they're riding high off emotion. And with that emotion that they're bringing into the new year, they're also bringing in the habits that stopped them from in the previous years of actually accomplishing what they said they was going to do. If you can honestly and properly identify what stopped you, you have so much better chance of doing what you said you was going to do, right? If you said that you was going to sell more books, but you only sold a handful, family, friends. So the first thing you need to do is, okay, I need to learn how to market to my target audience better. And most people, that's two things that self-publishing authors hate. That's editing and marketing. We feel as though first of all, authors should not be editing their own work. Hire somebody to do that. Now, the marketing thing, look, it's not as bad as we make it out to be. And what I mean by this is marketing is just getting somebody's attention. Just get somebody's attention, and preferably you want to get your target market's attention, your target audience's attention. And once you got their attention, whatever you're doing to gain their attention, it has to be interesting. And while you're keeping their attention, then, hey, I got a book to sell. Like, marketing is just, I just need to draw attention to me over here. And as you're looking at me, I'm going to present this book that you want anyway. Why do I know that you want this book? Because I properly identify you to be my target market. So don't be so scared of, oh my God, marketing. You will never make a living off of your books if you don't learn how to properly market. And that's one of the biggest things that authors are suffering from. Little to no book sales. Another thing is writing consistently. So another hang up with writing consistently is you don't have a clear vision of how you want your story to turn out. do yourself a favor and Google, and I'm giving away so much game because like I got a book that's out, or an ebook is out called The Unfair Writing Advantage. You should go check it out. It'll walk you through all this, but I'm gonna give you a little bit. You got to do some work. But do yourself a favor. If you don't understand this term, Google it. It's called reverse engineering. And I know the main reason that authors drop the ball is they'll get this great book idea, but they can't finish strong with it. And so we reverse engineering an idea, you actually start off with the ending in mind. Okay, so this is what I do. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'll get an idea and I won't even fall in love with the idea until I'll just let it roam free in my mind for however long it's going to take. And then it's roaming free. It's building itself because it's nothing but an idea. It doesn't become a thing until I put it on paper. It's in my head and it's roaming free. It has free reign. It's like the king of the jungle, right? I push all other ideas aside and I let this one idea that won't go away. I'm like, okay, you must want me to do something with you. But I don't even think about bringing that idea to life until what happens. I have an ending for that idea. I have a beginning, that's the idea that originated in my mind, and then once I can clearly see how my book is going to end, I got something. I just need beginning and end. I'm going to fill in the middle. So authors, if you don't have a clear picture of how your book is going to end, if you don't got your beginning points, the beginning and ending, you don't have a clear, concise idea. So it's hard to write your book because it's not clear in your mind first. You'll get excited by an idea and you'll get started. And then what happens is the excitement wanes. And now you're just stuck with a half-baked idea. Those are two of the main things why authors doesn't write as much as they do, right? One of the reasons they doesn't write as much as they should be writing. And the other reason is they don't sell enough books because they don't know their target market. So that's just a couple of things of reasons why you're not accomplishing. Two of the main reasons I want to say that you're not accomplishing what you said you was going to accomplish. Like you got to identify what the problem is, because I got this quote, my bad, I know I'm all over the place. It's safe to say it's a possibility I may have ADHD. It's all right. But I got this quote on the wall. It says, motivation is what gets you started, but habits is what keeps you going. You have to develop good work habits, even when you're tired, even when you're broke, even when your family's getting on your nerves, even when nobody but you, because you always got to have that self-belief. Nobody believes in you. When things are just not turning out your way, you still have to fall back on good habits. Because if you consistently do the right thing every day, time and time again, you're going to have the desired outcome that you want. But you can't do that, right, unless you identify what's stopping you from fulfilling the promises that you made to yourself.
Hello, my name is Britt Kuhn, author of Radiant. I am so over the moon excited that I am holding my book in my hands. And it is all thanks to DK Walker at NL Publishing Services. I promise you, I did not know how to write a book, yet here it is. Your guidance and direction during this entire process and your ability to handle my indecisiveness has been such a blessing. I am so grateful for you, and I will forever sing your praises. Thank you so much for being you, and I can't wait to work on the next one.
Writing your manuscript has been hard enough, so let NL Publishing Service Academy make self-publishing your book easy as possible. From beautifully designed full and ebook covers to uniquely done typesetting and formatting, our goal is to professionally enhance your manuscripts and book covers to give your readers the best reading experience possible. Need marketing tips, tactics, and strategies? We can help you with that. How about branding and broadening the reach of your author platform? Yep, we can help you with that too. So no matter what your self-publishing needs are, NL Publishing Service Academy has you covered. Just head over to www.nlpublishingservices.com for whatever your self-publishing needs are. And now back to the podcast.
I know I sound really passionate about this, and rightfully, because as much as I am talking to my listening audience out there, as much as I'm talking to my fellow authors, as much as I'm talking to my fellow writer, as much as I'm talking to my fellow scribe, I am more so talking to myself. And there's no way that I'm going to ask you to hold your feet to the fire, and I don't do likewise. I've had so many, what I believed at the time, great ideas. I had so many doggone opportunities that I've wasted. I had so much going for me. I had so much momentum built up. And as soon as something goes wrong, what happens? I let it go away. And there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow has taken, the blame for more stuff than than should be reasonably allowed. We blame everything on tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get to it tomorrow. But if you think about it, if you look at the 7 days a week, tomorrow is nowhere on the calendar. And I know that's cliche. And I know but if you think about it, we're not specific. And this is what I've learned about myself. This is why I dropped the ball. Couple of things. I lack being intentional with my efforts. And what I mean by intentional, it's my man, Eric Thomas, motivation speaker, hip hop preacher, the whole nine. So you got to go all in. Like being intentional is just going. I didn't say a little bit. I didn't say halfway. I didn't say 75%. I said going all in. And my biggest thing was I failed to go all in. That's one. I have two. And so there's two things I am correcting. Let me speak in present tense. I'm correcting these two things that was hindering me from reaching all my doggone potential, from hindering me from crushing my self-publishing goals. Like it was hindering me because I had no intentionality, none whatsoever. I would get in and do just a little bit. If I didn't like the results, let me try something new. Like and I'm talking about me here, I am such a sucker for the shiny object syndrome. Like, y'all don't understand how many programs and courses that I've been brought and not completed. Like, I'm not going to tempt you to self-reflect and not turn my mirror on myself and then share it with you. I am not that type of guy. I am far from being that dude. But what I've come to realize, time is not promised to nobody. In late November, I turned 53. I'm in the fourth quarter. And this is not a sob story. I'm just being honest. Like when you had that realization about yourself, you just got to be honest. I'm in the fourth quarter of life. Like I'm in the fourth. Some people would say the third. I'm in the fourth, right? I don't know how much time I have left on God's green earth. So if I want to get to where I know I belong to, there's two things I got to do. I have to be intentional, going all in with everything that I got at that point in time. I have to be intentional. I have to live in a state of intentionality. The other thing I have to do is be consistent. Because I reflected. The advice I'm giving you on New Year's night, right? Like, family came down. We really don't drink like that. We had sparkling apple cider. They went up to bed. I sat on the couch. I cut on wrestling because I missed it Friday. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I cut it on, and I wasn't really watching it, but I cut it on, and I sat there. And it came to me like, wow, okay, you've come a long way. You've been doing this thing for quite some time, but truth be told, I should be so much further along. And so I had to ask myself, like, DK, so why do you believe that you should be so much further along? I said, because I have a wealth of knowledge, and I agree with myself, and I'm not being conceited here. I have a wealth. Like, you can go to other gurus, you can go to other experts, and they'll give you the whole. Like, I'm results driven. Like, I'll see a problem, speak on it. We're going to make it real simple, simplified. I'm great at math because let's simplify the problem before we execute the problem. Not a problem. I sat on the couch. Wrestling is the background noise, and I'm taking this hard, long look at myself. I'm like, you will do better. What is that stopping you? I'm like, okay, you're not consistent. And I wrote that around my head for a second. You're not consistent. You're not intentional. Like like there's no much you can always learn something new, but I know so much I'm giving away too much, right? There's a saying, you don't have to know everything. There's no a page more than the people that you're trying to teach. Like, I know books more, and I'm not being conceited, but that's just how much information that I consume. But what's the use of consuming information you're not doing anything with it? And that's me. I don't know if y'all gotten this far into the podcast. I hope that you do, right? The first part was about you. Second part is about me. But all in all, in its totality, I hope and pray that this podcast can help you. Let 2022 be your last year of being a struggling author. Yeah, let 2022 be the last year. Let 2023 let you set goals, let you conquer goals, let you run to the things that you fear most. Let you run to how to learn to market. Let you run to how to properly identify your target market. Let you get out of your own way and stop hiring your cousin who happens to be a part-time English teacher that she was like not great at. Stop letting them type people do your editing, because that's the two biggest hangups when it comes to self-publishing authors. It's the marketing aspect and the editing aspect. That's why authors take so long to write their books, because the longer that they take to write their books, that means the longer it's going to take for they have to actually put their books out to be sold before they have to give it over to the editor so the editor can find the mistakes. The longer they can pardon me, as long as they keep that process going, they romanticize the bad things of being an author. If you, and I'm gonna say this, I'm going because I'm on a rant, so I want to stop, and I have a lot to do. Look, if you look at today's author, they'll do TikToks, they'll do reels, they'll do videos, they'll do whatever, they'll do memes. All of this stuff about they can't write, they don't have any book sales. They go, and what happens is they'll gain community in their misery because other authors will chime in stating that they're in the same place. And so instead of anybody getting any productive work going, now you got a community, pity party community. As crazy as that may sound, right? I'm gonna wrap this up and we're gonna bring it on home. Look, so authors, do yourself a favor, right? Stop. Don't do that. Because if you were to study your favorite author, your successful author, it's a rarity. They may mention of, yep, I'm in a writing funk, right? Yep, this book didn't sell as quite well as I wanted to sell. But that's the most you're going to hear from them. What successful authors do is they don't romanticize the BS of being a writer. There's a lot of bull crap to being a writer, but we want to we shouldn't. It's only holding us up from getting our book to market, really realizing where we're at. So, long story short, with me, I just had to be like, let me be brutal honest with me. And once I did that, turning the table, case in point, look, I recently got on TikTok. I know you need 1,000 people to follow you on TikTok. You know what I mean? Before you can go live, before you can put your link in your bio. Like, I was intentional. I friended, commented, liked, shared on everybody's post that was a self-publishing author. And what happened was 10 here, 5 here, 6 there, 7 there, 20 there, 30 there, 40 there, 50 there, 60 there. So we're looking at roughly about a month, and I amassed 1,000 followers, right? Now keep in mind, I still have a 9 to 5 to go to. Not an excuse. Even in the downtime during my job, I would still interact. Why? Because I decided to become intentional about what I was doing. The old me was go buy a course and let me go find a hack. Let me find the quickest way to get 1,000 followers on TikTok. That's the old me. No matter who you listen to, no matter who's your go-to for information, look, there's always, I'm saying this and I'm gone, and I said it 3 times already. There's always work involved. Do the work, people. Do the work. It's 2023. Find out why you didn't accomplish your past goals. Leave those bad habits in the past years. These new goals out. And with those new goals, with those new goals, start to develop good habits so you can accomplish those goals. It's real simple. Yo, man, I appreciate you. I promise you that I do. It's your boy DK Walker. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but y'all choosing to spend your time with me, man. I will always be grateful for that. Yo, do me a favor. First of all, if you got any value at all out of this podcast, share it. Like, just if you're author that's going through something, you're author that's writing down their goals, hey, you need to listen to this podcast before you go in on your goals. You really need it from start to end. Listen to this podcast. The other thing that I need for you to do, if you listen to this podcast on iTunes Podcast or Apple Podcast, I believe the name is, leave me a review. Just leave me an honest review. That's only 2 things I ask. Share this with your author friends because we all need some advice to get us over that hump. And leave me a review on iTunes or on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate that, man. Happy New Year once again, man. Let's attack. Life favors the bold. Let's attack every opportunity in every moment of the new year. Let's attack every opportunity in every moment of the new year. Man, it's your boy DK, man. I love y'all to life, man. Peace.
This episode of Listen Up, I Got a Story to Tell podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more literary strategies and tactics to help you create the profitable, successful author career you've always wanted. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring you the best author and book-related content. See you on the next episode.